The choice is simple: growth or degradation. Every morning when you open your eyes, the choice is waiting for you. Every night when you close them, the answer is written by what you did. Growth or degradation. Forward or backward. Stronger or weaker. There is no in-between. There is no pause. Life does not freeze. Time does not stop. You are either rising or rotting. The choice is simple: growth or degradation. Most people don't see this truth. They believe in neutral. They think they can stand still. They whisper, "I'm waiting. I'm pausing. I'm catching my breath." But waiting is not neutral. Waiting is decay. Pause is a myth. Neutral is a lie. If you are not sharpening your blade, it is rusting. If you are not training your body, it is weakening. If you are not stretching your mind, it is shrinking. Life never lets you stay the same. You are moving. Always moving. Toward growth or toward degradation. Here's a quotable line: you never stand still. You either rise or you rot. Think about the body. Miss one workout, and you don't just remain the same, you slip. Miss a week, and you feel it. Miss a month, and you see it. Miss a year, and you become a stranger to your old self. The body doesn't forgive. It grows or it weakens. The mind is the same. Stop feeding it, and it starves. Stop challenging it, and it dulls. Stop using it, and it forgets. The spirit is no different. Stop testing it, and it cracks. Stop strengthening it, and it bends. Stop fueling it, and it collapses. Growth is the law of life. Degradation is the punishment of neglect. Most people convince themselves they can afford delay. They believe in tomorrow. They repeat the lie of someday. They say, "I'll start later. I'll change when I feel ready. I'll build when the timing is right." But tomorrow is the favorite word of decay. Tomorrow is how dreams die. Tomorrow is how potential turns to regret. That person, the one who grows, never waits. That person acts now. That person builds now. That person doesn't ask for permission from the calendar. They understand growth lives only in today. Here's another quotable line: tomorrow is the language of decay. Today is the language of growth. Story 1. A young man dreamed of learning guitar. He bought one, told everyone about it, imagined the songs he would play. But he never practiced. Days passed, weeks passed, years passed. His guitar became furniture. His dream decayed into dust. Another young man picked up the same instrument. 10 minutes a day. Awkward, clumsy, offbeat. But he stayed. 1 year later, he played with confidence. 5 years later, he performed on stage. The difference wasn't talent. It wasn't luck. It was choice. Growth or degradation. Most people think growth is built by sudden leaps. They imagine transformation overnight. But real growth is invisible. Real growth is silent. Real growth is small repetitions compounding into strength. One brick at a time. One step at a time. One choice at a time. Every small decision moves you forward or pulls you backward. Every tiny action compounds. The compound effect is always working, building you or breaking you. Here's another quotable line: every choice compounds. Into strength or into weakness. Story 2. A businessman built an empire through hard work. But once he tasted success, he relaxed. He stopped learning. He stopped adapting. He stopped sharpening his edge. Comfort disguised itself as safety. But slowly, silently, his skills decayed. Competitors rose. His empire collapsed. Another businessman, less talented, less connected, never stopped growing. He studied. He adapted. He sharpened. And while one man decayed, the other thrived. The difference wasn't talent. It was choice. Growth or degradation. Most people crave comfort. They confuse it with safety. They think comfort protects them. But comfort is a coffin lined with soft pillows. Comfort is decay in disguise. Comfort feels safe, but it kills slowly. Growth is never comfortable. Growth lives in challenge. Growth lives in fire. Growth lives in storms. The person who rises doesn't worship comfort. They worship progress. They step into the storm because storms sharpen them. They embrace the fire because fire forges them. Here's another quotable line: comfort is the coffin of growth. Story 3. A soldier trained in rain, and cold, and mud. His peers mocked him. They laughed at his discipline. They said, "Why suffer now? Save your energy." But when the real battle came, they collapsed. He endured. He survived. He won. His suffering was his training. Their comfort was their decay. The choice was simple: growth or degradation. Most people think failure means the end. They see failure as proof that they should stop. But failure is only decay if you quit. Failure is growth if you rise. Failure is growth if you learn. Failure is growth if you endure. That person, the one who rises, turns failure into fuel. That person takes scars as strength. That person understands that the path is never straight, never smooth, but every stumble can become a step upward. Here's a quotable line: failure is fertilizer. Quitting is decay. Story 4. A boxer was knocked down again and again. 7 times. The crowd laughed. The critics mocked. His body ached. His spirit trembled. Most would have stayed down. Most would have chosen degradation. But he stood up. Each time, he stood. And every knockdown that could have destroyed him became the training that made him. Years later, he stood as champion. His scars spoke louder than his critics. His resilience became his crown. The choice was simple: growth or degradation. Most people believe life allows them to float. They think they can coast. But the river never stops. The current never pauses. If you are not swimming forward, you are drifting backward. If you are not rising, you are sinking. If you are not growing, you are degrading. Life is motion. The current is real. And this truth is merciless. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your comfort. You can complain, you can delay, you can lie to yourself, but the law doesn't change. You are building or you are breaking. You are compounding strength or compounding weakness. You are growing or you are degrading. The choice is simple: growth or degradation. Every action moves you. Every thought shapes you. Every habit compounds inside you. You cannot escape this law. You cannot pause it. You cannot freeze it. The current of life drags you somewhere. Either you rise or you rot. Either you grow or you decay. Most people underestimate this. They think one excuse is harmless. They think one skipped day is nothing. But decay never needs much. Decay is patient. Decay grows silently. And one day, you wake up weaker, slower, smaller. That person, the one who rises, knows there are no harmless excuses. Every choice counts. Every choice compounds. The choice is simple: growth or degradation. Here's a quotable line: every small act is a vote for who you become. Discipline versus feelings. Most people worship feelings. They wait for motivation. They say, "I'll move when I feel like it." But feelings are liars. Feelings whisper comfort. Feelings chase pleasure. Feelings degrade discipline. That person doesn't obey feelings. That person obeys discipline. Discipline is the truth when feelings are lies. Discipline says, show up anyway. Train anyway. Build anyway. Story 1. A man wanted to be a writer. He waited for inspiration. Weeks passed, then months. His dream shrank. His gift degraded. Another man woke every morning and wrote one page. Some days bad, some days worse. But he wrote. 10 years later, his shelves held books. The difference wasn't talent. It was discipline. Here's another quotable line: feelings fade. Discipline remains. Responsibility. Most people give away power by blaming others. They degrade themselves by surrendering responsibility. They say, "It's not my fault." It's their fault. It's unfair. But blame builds nothing. Blame is decay in disguise. That person takes responsibility. That person says, "This is mine to fix." And responsibility fuels growth. Responsibility is the soil of strength. Story 2. A man was fired. His friend said, "Bad luck. Unfair boss. Wrong economy." He could have agreed. He could have decayed. But he didn't. He studied. He trained. He built. Within a year, he had a new career, better, stronger, freer. His friend stayed bitter. He grew. The difference was responsibility. The choice is simple: growth or degradation. Here's another quotable line: excuses rot. Responsibility rebuilds. Fear versus courage. Most people are slaves to fear. Fear whispers, "Stay safe. Don't risk it. Don't try." Fear feels protective, but it kills potential. It degrades dreams. It starves courage. That person doesn't run from fear. That person walks into it. That person acts even with shaking hands. And every step through fear makes fear smaller, courage bigger. Story 3. A girl wanted to sing. For years, fear chained her voice. She avoided stages. Her dream degraded. Another girl, equally afraid, stepped into the light. Her voice cracked. Her knees shook. But she sang. She grew. Each song strengthened her courage. Each risk shrank her fear. Years later, she filled arenas. Here's another quotable line: fear ignored grows. Fear-faced dies. Consistency. Most people quit too soon. They sprint for a week, then collapse for a month. They burn with passion, then vanish. Their strength degrades in inconsistency. That person stays steady. That person keeps showing up. That person builds brick by brick. Consistency compounds into greatness. Story 4. Two artists started together. One painted furiously for a week, then stopped. The other painted daily, small, slow, steady. 10 years later, one was forgotten. The other was world-renowned. The difference wasn't talent. It was consistency. Here's another quotable line: consistency is invisible today but undeniable tomorrow. Long-term vision. Most people live for now. They trade their future for comfort today. They eat the seed instead of planting it. They degrade the soil of their own tomorrow. That person sees farther. That person sacrifices now to build later. That person invests in what will outlive them. That person grows into legacy. Story 5. A farmer planted slow trees that wouldn't fruit for 20 years. Neighbors mocked him. "Why waste your life?" they asked. They chose quick crops. But when drought came, their fields died. His orchard thrived. His patience grew permanence. His vision fed generations. Here's another quotable line: short-term ease writes long-term pain. Long-term vision writes legacy. Serving others. Most people live small inside their own ego. They chase selfish comfort. Ego shrinks. Ego isolates. Ego degrades. That person chooses service. That person gives. That person lifts others. And through service, they expand. Through service, they multiply. Through service, they grow beyond themselves. Story 6. A nurse worked nights no one thanked her for. She comforted patients, cleaned wounds, whispered hope. She was invisible to the world, but unforgettable to the families she saved. Her life grew in others. Her choice was service. Here's another quotable line: ego shrinks. Service expands. Most people miss the war. They think today doesn't matter. They believe tomorrow will come and bail them out. But the war is now. Every day counts. Every action counts. You are training or you are rotting. You are sharpening or you are rusting. You are growing or you are degrading. The choice is simple: growth or degradation. The choice is simple: growth or degradation. The choice is simple: growth or degradation. You've heard it. You've felt it. Now it must become the voice inside you. Growth or degradation. Every breath, every step, every choice points you one way or the other. There is no middle. There is no pause. There is no waiting zone where life freezes until you're ready. Life is moving now, and it is dragging you with it. The only question is, are you climbing or are you sliding? The choice is simple: growth or degradation. Most people will choose decay. They won't say it out loud. They won't admit it. But by delaying, by distracting, by excusing, they choose it. They choose decay with every skipped action. They choose decay with every postponed dream. They choose decay with every tomorrow. That person, the one who rises, chooses differently. That person chooses today. That person chooses now. That person knows the choice is simple: growth or degradation. Here's a quotable line: later is decay dressed as patience. Most people collapse in storms. They see pain as punishment. They see obstacles as injustice. They rot in bitterness. That person sees storms as training. That person sees pain as signal. That person sees obstacles as teachers. That person grows where others collapse. The choice is simple: growth or degradation. Story 1. A man lost his job, his savings, his family in 1 year. Most would drown in despair. He didn't. He used the ashes as fuel. He studied. He rebuilt. He grew stronger than before. His ruin became his rebirth. The choice was always there: decay or growth. He chose growth. Most people crave applause. They want validation to move. Without it, they wither. Their growth dies in silence. That person doesn't wait for applause. That person grows in shadows. That person plants seeds in secret. That person lets results speak when the time comes. Silence builds strength. Here's another quotable line: grow so loud in silence that the world has no choice but to hear you. Most people choose shortcuts. They want quick wins. They want fast fame. But shortcuts rot character. Shortcuts collapse legacy. That person chooses the long road. That person embraces patience. That person knows real growth is slow, invisible, unglamorous, until suddenly undeniable. Story 2. Two builders started a house. One rushed with cheap wood, quick nails, fast paint. The other took time, deep foundations, careful stone, patient hands. The first house looked good for a year, then fell. The second stood for generations. Shortcuts degrade. Patience grows. Most people shrink into ego. They serve themselves. They trap themselves. And ego decays them from the inside. That person serves others. That person multiplies by giving. That person plants strength in others and finds their own multiplied. Ego rots. Service grows. Here's another quotable line: ego is decay. Service is expansion. Story 3. A teacher worked unseen for 30 years. Few remembered her name. But her students became leaders, creators, builders. Her legacy was written in others. She never decayed into bitterness. She grew into legacy. Most people die whispering regret. They whisper, "I could have. I should have. I would have." Regret is the echo of decay. That person dies empty of excuses, full of scars, full of proof. That person dies with growth carved into their bones. Here's another quotable line: regret is the harvest of decay. Legacy is the harvest of growth. Story 4. A boxer lost more fights than he won. But every loss taught him. Every fall toughened him. Every scar strengthened him. Years later, he became champion. His record wasn't perfect, but his growth was undeniable. His losses became fuel. His failures became foundation. Most people think they can hide from the law of life. But you can't. You can't negotiate with time. You can't trick growth. You can't bargain with decay. Life doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your comfort. It only asks, did you grow? Or did you decay? The choice is simple: growth or degradation. So what about you? Which will you choose? Which road will you walk? Which voice will you obey? Because right now, you are choosing. Right now, your future is being built or broken. Be that person today. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Not later. Today. Because tomorrow is a lie. Later is a thief. Someday is a grave. Only today is alive. Only today is real. Only today is yours. Be that person today. Not tomorrow. Because the truth is eternal. Growth is life. Degradation is death. The choice is simple: growth or degradation. So rise. Train. Build. Endure. Serve. Lead. Grow. The choice is simple: growth or degradation. Be that person today. Not tomorrow.